Tariffs. You've heard the word.
I shut the tariff.
Maybe in the news, maybe during a heated political debate. But what are tariffs? How long have they been around? How will Donald Trump's tariff policies affect everyday Americans? And what can Americans do to reduce the impact of Trump's tariff policies? Stick around to find out. A tariff is basically a tax, but instead of taxing you directly, it's a tax on imported goods, stuff coming in from other countries. Tariffs have been around for thousands of years. Ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome taxed goods entering their cities. Raising money, that means you end up paying more for things like electronics, clothes, even washing machines. After World War I, the US passed the Smoot-Hawley tariff,
raising rates and sparking international retaliation.
But after World War II, the US reversed course, leading global efforts to cut tariffs and encourage free trade through organizations like GATT and the WTO. Countries like China hit back with their own tariffs, especially on US farm goods like soybeans and pork. The result? Check this out, you're not gonna believe this. Louis Armstrong called. He said he wanted to sing my opening
Jingle.
Can you believe this guy?
Sincerely Sammy, Sincerely Sammy Show.
A tariff is basically a tax, but instead of taxing you directly, it's a tax on imported goods, stuff coming in from other countries. Governments use tariffs for two main reasons: to make money and to protect local businesses by making foreign products more expensive. Let's take a quick journey through the history of tariffs, one of the oldest tools in global trade. Tariffs have been around for thousands of years. Ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome taxed goods entering their cities, raising money and controlling trade routes.
Fast forward to
Europe's empire-building days, tariffs were used to protect home industries and hoard wealth. Colonies sent raw materials, and mother countries taxed imports to stay rich and powerful.
Stay, bad kitty, no!
In early America, tariffs were everything. The Tariff Act of 1789 was one of the first laws Congress passed. For over 100 years, tariffs funded the federal government, long before income tax. During the Civil War era, high tariffs protected northern factories, but created tension with the South, which depended on global trade. After World War I, the US passed the Smoot-Hawley tariff,
raising rates and sparking international retaliation.
That helped turn a recession
into the Great Depression.
But after World War II, the US reversed course, leading global efforts to cut tariffs and encourage free trade through organizations like GATT and the WTO. For a while, free trade was the norm. But in 2018, President Trump brought tariffs back in a big way, targeting China and others in a misguided attempt to protect US industries and challenge what he felt were unfair practices. Today, tariffs aren't just about taxes. They're weapons in economic diplomacy, political leverage, and global strategy. Let's say the US slaps a 20% tariff on imported steel. That means foreign steel now costs 20% more. So suddenly, American steel looks like a better deal. Sounds smart, right?
I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. Smart, smart, smart.
But there's a catch. There's always a catch, ma'am. Those tariffs, they don't just hit the country sending the goods. They hit you. Importers typically just pass the cost down the line. That means you end up paying more for things like electronics, clothes, even washing machines. Studies show tariffs during the previous Trump era cost the average US household hundreds of dollars more each year. And it didn't stop there. Stop in the name of love. Countries like China hit back with their own tariffs, especially on US farm goods like soybeans and pork. The result? American farmers lost massive export markets and had to be bailed out with billions in government aid. Companies also got hit with the wave of uncertainty. Some delayed hiring, others scrambled to rebuild their supply chains. And manufacturers that relied on foreign parts, they watched their costs skyrocket.
3, 2, 1.
While Trump aimed to protect American jobs, the net effect was the opposite.
The Federal Reserve estimated that Trump's tariffs led to around 300,000 jobs lost, mainly in industries hurt by higher input costs. The tariffs aimed to force China into changing its trade behavior, and while a Phase 1 trade deal was signed, most experts agree the economic damage to US consumers, farmers, and businesses far outweighed the benefits. So the next time someone says tariffs are a great fix for trade problems, remember, it's way more complicated than it sounds. And often, the cost is closer to home than you think. Now for our song of the day. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. Money for Nothing by Dire Straits from 1985 features one of the most iconic guitar riffs in rock history, and it was played by Mark Knopfler on a guitar he originally didn't want to use. The song's signature tone came from a Gibson Les Paul Jr. plugged into a Laney amp accidentally mic'd in a strange position. And here's the kicker. The backing vocals, I want my MTV, were sung by Sting, who not only improvised the line, but got a co-writing credit because of it. Now, let's talk about the science.
Science! Science! She blinded me!
So what can you do about Trump's tariffs? Let's break it down with 5 quick practical moves to soften the blow on your wallet and maybe even help your community in the process. 1. Buy local when you can. Tariffs mostly hit imported goods, so when you buy American-made, you might avoid the markup. Sure, local isn't always cheaper or available, but it's worth checking before you click buy. 2. Be a savvy shopper. Get thrifty, go off-brand, try secondhand. Name brand imports often get hit hardest, so being flexible could save you more than you think. 3. Support affected industries. Retaliatory tariffs can crush farmers and small businesses. Buying from local producers or directly from farms isn't just kind, it's strategic. 4. Vote and advocate. Tariff policy doesn't make itself. Politicians like Trump do. Vote for people whose trade values align with yours, and don't be afraid to make some noise with your representatives. 5. Diversify your investments. If you're in the market, keep an eye on sectors exposed to global trade. Industries like tech, manufacturing, and agriculture can all swing hard when tariffs hit. Bottom line, you can't dodge tariffs entirely, but with a few smart choices, you can dodge their full impact. And hey, if nothing else, it's a great excuse to hit the farmer's market. But enough about that. I think it's time for some cat. Meow! Okay, that's it for this show, he, she's, and theys. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, have fun, be safe, and try to learn some stuff. Oh, and be sure to leave a comment about how you think tariffs will impact your life.
Talking about credit, where credit is due. Snippet and slap together for Sammy. What a wonderful career. Oh yeah.